Nanny Faye was featured as the guest star on Chrisley's recent episode of her podcast, The Southern Tea. With the title, Nanny Faye Doesn't Argue with Dummies, the podcast episode was instantly off-putting to a lot of fans of the Chrisley family. Why did Lindsay spell her grandmother's name like that? Did she not know how to spell her grandmother's name properly? Now, Lindsay knew that Chrisley Knows Best fans who follow other members of her family would instantly take issue with the title and description of her podcast. So, she decided she needed to address it pretty early on in the episode. Pretty early on in the episode, Lindsay reminded fans that she was Todd's first child. So, she had the pleasure of being Nanny Faye's favorite grandchild for a glorious 15 months until her brother Kyle was born. Calling attention to the spelling of Nanny Faye's name, Lindsay pointed out that as the first grandchild, she really got the ball running on what their grandmother's nickname is. The fact that they call her Nanny Faye was something Lindsay decided a long time ago when she was just a kid. Lindsay, however, admits that she's always spelled her name with an I-E instead of a Y. So, she would spell it Nanny Faye. Nanny Faye confirms fans are spelling her name wrong. Lindsay Chrisley explains that because she's outnumbered by siblings who started spelling her grandmother's name with a Y, that is the name that ended up sticking. Nanny Faye, however, clarified that everyone is spelling her name wrong as she's always spelled it I-E instead of Y. Nanny notes that it has always been I-E and will always be I-E. Lindsay also made it a point to clarify that when her grandmother writes her name on cards or gifts, she always spells it Nanny. Unfortunately for Nanny Faye, fans have been writing her name with a Y for years. Her son Todd spells it with a Y, and so does Julie, Savannah, Chase, and Grayson. So, it seems unlikely that fans will start spelling it correctly simply because Lindsay has brought it to everyone's attention. For the most part, however, fans suspect Lindsay just wanted to make sure she didn't catch heat for spelling her grandmother's name wrong when she didn't. Does it surprise you to know everyone has been spelling Nanny Faye's name wrong for all of these years? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. And, keep coming back for more Chrisley news. Nanny Faye, the fan-favorite grandmother from Chrisley Knows Best, has always been a source of wit, charm, and unfiltered fun. However, there's one thing that's been on her mind lately, and she's finally decided to set the record straight. Fans, despite their love for her, have been making a tiny but significant mistake. They've been spelling her name wrong. It all started with an innocent post on social media. Nanny Faye, known for her tech-savvy nature, though sometimes with a little help from her family, had just finished a Facebook Live session with her granddaughter, Savannah Chrisley. The session had been a hit, with thousands of fans tuning in to watch Nanny Faye share stories from her youth, offer life advice, and even hilariously attempt to answer questions about modern pop culture. But after the stream, something caught her eye. Scrolling through the comments, Savannah burst out laughing, causing Nanny Faye to peer over her shoulder. "What's so funny, girl?" Nanny Faye asked in her signature Southern drawl. "Grandma, people are spelling your name all sorts of ways. Look at this, Nanny Faye, Nanny Faye, Nanny Faye. They just can't get it right." Nanny Faye's eyes widened in surprise. "Well, I'll be. After all this time. Hey y'all, it's Nanny Faye here," she began, flashing her charming smile. "I got something to say today. Now, I know y'all love me, and I love y'all right back, but we gotta talk about something important." She paused for dramatic effect, her eyes twinkling mischievously. "My name. It's Nanny Faye, not Nanny, not Faye, none of that. Just good ol' Nanny Faye." Savannah couldn't help but laugh from behind the camera as her grandmother continued. "I've been seein' all these misspellings, and I thought, well shoot, it's time to clear things up. You wouldn't want people callin' you by the wrong name, now would ya?" The video, as expected, went viral. Within hours, the post had thousands of comments and shares, with fans absolutely loving Nanny Faye's spunky attitude and light-hearted correction. The hashtags #It's Nanny Faye Not Nanny and #GetItRight started trending as fans joined in the fun, vowing to never misspell her name again. But Nanny Faye wasn't done yet. The next day, she and Savannah took the joke even further. They set up a spelling bee in the Chrisley family's backyard, complete with a chalkboard, chairs, and a podium for the contestants. The whole family got involved. Todd, Chase, Grayson, and even Julie came to watch or participate. Todd, being the perfectionist that he is, was more than eager to act as the moderator. Savannah recorded the whole event, from the moment Todd stood up in front of the chalkboard to the first contestant stepping up to the podium, Chase. "All right, Chase," Todd said in his authoritative dad voice, "spell Nanny Faye." Chase rolled his eyes dramatically, pretending to be offended. "Please, this is too easy." "Then do it," Nanny Faye quipped from her seat in the front row, sipping her tea and enjoying the spectacle. Chase squared his shoulders, then confidently said, "Nanniefay." The whole family burst out laughing as Todd shook his head. "Wrong. You just spelled it wrong in front of Nanny herself." Chase threw his hands up in mock frustration. "Come on. I was close." "Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades," Nanny Faye shot back with a grin. Next up was Grayson, who got it right, much to everyone's surprise. The youngest Chrisley was often underestimated when it came to these family games, but this time he was ready, spelling Nanny Faye correctly on his first try. The family cheered, and Nanny Faye gave him a proud nod. "See, Grayson knows how to treat his grandma right," she said, winking at him. The spelling bee concluded with Todd making a grand speech about the importance of names and how everyone should respect them, all while keeping the atmosphere light and fun. Nanny Faye, sitting proudly in her chair, took it all in with a warm smile. Later that evening, after the family festivities had wrapped up, Savannah posted a series of clips from the spelling bee on Instagram. Fans couldn't get enough of the family's antics, and the Chrisley charm was on full display. In the days that followed, Nanny Faye received messages from fans all over the world, apologizing for their previous spelling mistakes and thanking her for the fun way she corrected them. She even became the subject of several memes, with one showing her sitting at the spelling bee podium with the caption, "Spell it right, y'all. Nanny Faye means business." Reflecting on the whole experience, Nanny Faye couldn't help but chuckle. "You know, Savannah," she said one evening as they scrolled through the comments together, "I never thought correcting folks on how to spell my name would be so much fun." Savannah grinned. "Well, that's what happens when you're Nanny Faye. You make everything fun."